The tour was very informative. We got a lot of information, got a good feel of the place, the quality. Like the computer program was very great, and it was great.
I thought the tour was great. Shows you everything. The quality of the building was great.
Yeah. All very interesting, informative. All the questions that we did have, and we've been on the tour before. We're actually buying a house, so it's in production online. So it's nice to see all the progress of the house being done. Everything from the walls being built to the ceilings and all the other appliances ready to go in. So having things rebuilt to a greater standard than the town and the villages are asking for is better. And the way it's built inside, I think that the workmanship is much better and no weather-related incidents going on. So we were very happy. We're very happy.
Yeah, that was surprising how much customization you could do. The idea that you could sit and watch them, say, move the window this way or add additional windows right on the design plans that they had, and we could see it on the computer was great.
We're living in a trailer on the property right now, and we initially started with a local architect. Nice company, nice people, and we wanted some design things to be done and come back in a couple of weeks. They'd call us a couple of weeks and said, that's exactly what we don't want. And, oh, well, we'll change it for you. We changed it, come back a couple of weeks later, and we said, we just can't do this. We spoke to Cedar Knolls, the people who were building, who are our general contractors, and we had just sat down with them, gave them the things we wanted to do, and the girl out there, Jasmine, brought it right up on the screen. We said, we really like a window moved a little more to the left. Bink, bink, there it was. Could take the whole room and the box and just turn it and everything. So we looked and we said, this is exactly what we wanted.
I think second to the quality of the construction was the time frame. Absolutely. I see people who started a stick build back in January, and I think we will be in a house faster than they will be. So that was definitely a key reason. We actually have some people within the neighborhood. So many homes within the block that we live on were destroyed. So we have been, sharing, what are you doing? And one of them asked us about it, and I actually told them they should come up or go out and see Cedar Knolls. Yeah. It was certainly one of the best options.
Yeah, if anybody ever had any questions, the thing to do is to come through the tour, ask who your builder is, and go to where the building is going to be set and watch one being done. It'll answer all your questions, and you'll say, let me come back and sign the papers. And that's what we did.
Well, the builder is in the town where my houses were before Hurricane Sandy, and I went to see him, and he was very big on Westchester Modular and asked me to come up to one of the open houses. So I came in December, and it was very persuasive, very convincing. There were a lot of things that I'm not a builder, so that's not my specialty, but I'm savvy enough to realize that it isn't and to leave it to the experts. And I think that's what you find here is that the engineering, I think, was what really captured me most, because the way I'm looking at it is if I had to do a stick built, I'm not going to be there on site. I don't live very close to this property. I'm not going to be able to monitor what's going on, and I don't know if the supplies are going to be available. I didn't know all of that stuff. And when I walked through the factory, they made it clear that they buy in bulk, that the supplies will always be available, that what they tell you they're going to put into the house goes into the house, and they show you as it's being done, how it's done. So it's just very, very persuasive to me, for someone who wasn't going to be there all the time, that this would probably be a good thing for me as an absentee type person. But then there was even more. I mean, they choose quality products, they test the product. I think if I did a stick built, I don't think they would test the product. So I was sort of persuaded by that as well. Yeah, the modular was a little worrisome at first, versus a stick built, but they had so many options. I don't remember how many models there are, but there are lots. I also had a very odd-shaped lot. It's a triangle-type shape, and I was kind of worried about whether they're going to be able to fit it into that regiment. And they had multiple designs for me to choose from, so it really wasn't. At first, I perceived it to be a problem, but they were able to move it around, and I don't know, it's like Legos. They sort of move them around the way you would if you were a kid with Legos, and it all seemed to work out the way we wanted it to. The kitchen got to where I wanted it. You know, the living room and it's airy, it's light, it's great. Well, the structural part was kind of interesting too, because again, I'm not a builder, so I don't know much about it, but you hear all these scary stories about, you know, it has to be hurricane proof or wind proof or surge proof or whatever. And so when we did the factory tour, they showed us how they would tie down, and again, I'm not the expert here, but they tie these things down. They have straps or something that tie the foundation to the first floor, to the second floor, and so forth. And it all gets very, very well tied down with these, I don't know, look like steel or something strong. And so I was pretty convinced that they had the engineering piece of it. You know, they talked with FEMA, and they seemed to know all about the engineering of it. So another worry that I had with the stick built was, are they going to have the time to research it the way a company that has engineers on site that does this for a living is going to be able to do it? And I thought I'm getting the benefit of the consortium of engineers that the modular company has hired, and I'm going to benefit from that. So I was pleased with that piece of it.
Great.
Builder is great. I've had a good relationship with them. They're right in town. They're right across the street from the town hall, so you can easily, because we had to get variances because of the size of my lot and so forth. And he's been great. The modular company was interesting because they're all the way up in New York and I'm in New Jersey, and so I thought, well, gee, how's this going to work? But the one very impressive piece to Westchester Modular is that it's employee-owned. And as you walk through the factory, you'll see signs reminding the employees of how important it is to produce a quality product. And then I met some of the employees, and so since they are so tied to the company, you really feel like it is them that you're buying from, each one of them. I think the fact that it's employee-owned really lends a special awareness and a special amount of integrity to the product. It only convinced me even more. I would definitely recommend the modular home for the reasons that I've stated, but I just think it gave me peace of mind. There was less worry. I was worried that with stick, they'd be calling me up saying, oh, well, the heating system you chose isn't available. How about this? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know anything about heating systems. I didn't have any of that worry. I didn't have the worry that, somebody got hurt on the job and isn't there, so the expert isn't there anymore that used to do whatever the product piece that they were working on. Everything here seems to be inspected thoroughly. It's all very well put together, and I just didn't have any of those worries. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend modular as the way to go.
Great.
This has been a very difficult process. Losing a home to a hurricane is not an easy thing. You walk out of it one day and it's the way you left it, and then you come back and it's ravaged by this storm. It was very devastating. And it's taken a long time. It took me a long time to just get your head wrapped around what happened, and then to get the town for the variances and so forth. Along the way, the builder has been fabulous in terms of helping me through the process. And the modular, I knew was always here, but we really didn't. He walked me through the contract. He walked me through all the pieces. They had this special architect program where he could actually show me the furniture in the room, so I could decide on what size the room ought to be, or move the door or the window one side to the next, or whatever. So I was able to custom fit the furniture into the house the way I wanted. For example, in the bedrooms, I wanted 2 single beds and a window in between. And so when I first came and saw this chief architect program, the window was off to the side, and I said, no, we got to move. And so, yeah, we moved the window. The closet, no, I want that down here. And so it was really good. We got to customize the interior just the way I wanted it, so that it would look the way I wanted like my house. It's been a very long process, but I think it was worthwhile. I don't think the length of it was in any way determined by the modular company. That piece is going really quick. They put the house on, in a couple of days ago, and they're telling me it's going to be done in like 3 or 4 days. It's like 8 or 9 days by the time it gets done. That piece was very quick. The piece that took very long was the building of getting the building permits. I had to have the other houses demolished, asbestos removed, all sorts of other things that went on that took a very long time. But from what I can see, everything has been just as I would have expected, and if not better.
Great.
It's been a really good experience so far. I'm really anxious to have the house built and live in it and see what it's like. From what I can see, I'm really pumped and excited and can't wait.
I thought the tour was excellent. It was a lot of insight on the building concepts of modular versus stick, and obviously there's to me, a controlled environment here where there's expertise put into it, a lot better than out in the field with stick built. Not to discredit stick built, but I think this is a better concept. Feels good, feels solid. I think the materials that are used are up to par, and you can always upgrade if you're not happy with the product, which is something you guys do provide, upgrades. No, I think now with the different products on the market and the availability, obviously, of your vast ability to reach out to different companies that make materials, I think basically giving that choice is probably where modular is much more advantageous for the average person who's looking to build a really solid house. The tour was excellent, very informative, good open question floor. You know, ask anything you want, and the responses were 100%. I got to say, I'm quite satisfied with the tour.
Can't get stick construction with 2x6 outer walls like that. And with all the hurricane strapping to the foundation, we're going up 9 feet above with our pilings above the center line of the street. We're 250 feet away from the beach in Long Beach Island. I think the modular for the cost and performance gives me the best investment for a home down the shore. The house isn't exposed to the wind and rain during the construction process. Everything's done in the factory basically here, and it's pretty much waterproofed, as I understand it, after it arrives. So the house is going to be, the wood is going to be like it's just manufactured. You can't get that with stick construction.
Yeah, we enjoyed coming to Westchester Modular, and we were so impressed with the entire process in terms of how the conditions are controlled, the materials are high quality, and just to recognize the speed and the quality are really big selling points for us. And I guess that is a misconception at first. When you think modular, you think, okay, it's only choice A, B, or C, and you don't realize that, in fact, you can customize any part of the house. And we were just doing that right now. Before this interview, we were actually picking different choices, and the choices are endless and also very aesthetically appealing to us and high quality. So we're impressed with Westchester.
Yeah, well, we're also impressed with, the people and, how they kind of guide you through the process and really, teach you and inform you about how the house is built and, versus a stick-built house. And, the quality of the materials that they use here, they really don't skimp on anything. And, we're really excited about, the end product and, what we're going to be, building.
And we live 1 block away from the beach. And to know that we are purchasing a home that the structural integrity has been tested, meets or exceeds codes, is very important to us. So we're very excited about having this home that will have a custom aspect, built with structural integrity, and at the same time under really great conditions. I mean, our schedules are so tight. We're constantly working. There's very little time to just wait for things that are outside your control, and to know that your house could be pretty much done inside a facility such as Westchester Modular, and you can actually come by and even see it in certain pieces. But the speed to placement is amazing, and the fact that once the house is delivered, it gets pretty much put together on site that particular day. So for us, speed was definitely a decisive factor in the decision, wasn't it, baby?
Yeah, absolutely. It's November now, and we're planning on. We have a in-the-house date where we're thinking is going to be kind of like in July, basically. So here we haven't even torn down the house yet, and house torn, built, and into the house by midsummer is is important to us. So we think that we're going to meet that goal by going with the modular here at Westchester.
We marvel about it because it is kind of incredible, and we were really impressed with the facility to see how it actually all comes together.
Great.
We would definitely recommend Westchester, and we were going to recommend it before, not even having had the tour. But now that we've been here for the tour, now we're going to definitely recommend it. And that's also before we had also known a little bit about some of the other companies that are out there. And by far, Westchester Modular is definitely, a more, I don't know what, it's certainly
It's
they
a
use more,
leader.
yeah, it's definitely a leader.
It's
The quality of the products, and they don't skimp, as I said earlier, and you just know you're going to get a good quality product. And we certainly wouldn't want to recommend a house to somebody or a builder to somebody that they weren't going to get a good product. So we would definitely feel comfortable about doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think as he mentioned, we were already impressed with Westchester even before coming here in terms of looking at the website, looking at the materials. Our contractor who will be putting the on-site details into the house have recommended Westchester, and we came here and it really lived up to its reputation. We do think it's a leader in the industry, and we're very impressed with the service aspect that we've gotten here so far. We're impressed with the materials that they use, and we're impressed with the way they stand behind the product, with the warranty aspects of it. So definitely everything to recommend. We haven't had one glitch or one disappointment along the way so far.